Hey everybody, my name is Geneva. I'm your host, and you're listening to Conversations with a Libra. I am smiling through the freaking pain right now because I recorded a whole episode. I recorded a whole episode and my mic died. My mic died. Um, I'm currently redoing it, but everything's okay. Everything is literally going to be okay. Like, I feel like I definitely feel like that was something for me to fall in love with the process of podcasting instead of the outcome. I don't know if you guys see, sometimes art teachers will make their students make a beautiful piece of art and they'll tell them to destroy it because they don't want them to be attached to the art. They want them to be attached to the process. Um, a little sprinkle of knowledge if y'all didn't know that. Um, but yes, on today's episode of Conversations with a Libra, I'm going to be tapping into a little bit about myself. And then we're going to be talking about finding yourself. So, yes, my name is Geneva. That's Druniva. I don't think anybody else has my name. My birthday is October 20th. I'm an October Libra, and I don't know much about the risings and the fallings of the zodiac, but I know my communication is in Scorpio because I checked on Snapchat. Yep. Scorpios are very like in tune with their emotions. Um, so they get deep because they're in their head a lot. They get really deep, like deep thoughts. That's why I love SZA's music. Like, I relate to SZA's music on another level. Like, her songs be touching me in my heart, deep in my chest. Like, her lyrics, lyrical genius. Um, yes, she is definitely one of my favorite artists. Um, we could tap into music on another one of these episodes because I like a lot of unknown people, unknown R&B artists. Like, um, some of my favorite podcasters are, I don't know if y'all know him, but Heinz. I love For the Healthy Host podcast, and Breenie Lee. She doesn't make podcasts anymore, but I do love her stuff. Like, I don't know if y'all ever listen to Breenie Lee. She's a British gal. That's not funny. But yes. Um, Drop in the comments some more things that y'all want to know about me. Oh yeah, I'm 19. Um, yeah, I was not prepared with these questions. I probably should have wrote a list about like things to tell y'all, but I really came prepared. Like, I'm kind of a little nervous, but everything's gonna be okay. Yes, so introducing our topic, finding yourself. I feel like finding yourself is a crucial first step into this journey of self love, self acceptance, and just growth. Um, Given that most of us don't know ourselves completely, it can be hard to do things in that direction of the person that you want to be because you don't know what you want to be. You don't know who you are, or maybe you did know who you are and you don't know who you are anymore. Like, that can be super tough. Um, saying that from experience and firsthand, I do feel like in certain Haitian households, um, there is a there is a filter on who you're allowed to be. Um, and whatever they want to come through that filter is what's gonna come through that filter. It's not necessarily what you as your authentic self would like to come through that filter, you know? Because we thrive off of, parent or guardian validation. We thrive off of that. Um, and no judge, no shame. That's why we're here. We're gonna slowly learn to find ourselves. And you find yourself through creating yourself. You have to be the one to create that. Um, an example that I'm gonna use is um, there's a kid, there's a child, and they're playing in the dirt. They're playing with worms. They getting what that girl said in it. They're getting in it. They're getting messy, and the parent comes and they scold the freak out of them. They start yelling. They start telling them, "What the hell are you doing? And get your dirty ass up out of the ground!" And this and that. Another parent who is open to a child finding themselves and learning themselves would not scold. They would maybe buy a set, one of those caterpillar things that turn into the butterflies, or buy them a plant, um, have them create a garden. They don't completely eradicate that idea of the child's curiosity to nature. Instead, they help they help that idea flourish in a more controlled setting. Um, and that speaks to me about thinking that things always have to be black and white. In this journey, nothing is black and white. There are a lot of gray areas because we are not perfect people. We are not the sum of one thing and the sum of another. Like the saying, you may go through shitty stuff, but that does not mean you have to stay shitty. Um, I had journaled that to myself earlier this morning because this past couple of days was not my best. Like I was really like in my drowning in my sorrows, sunken in my bed, not wanting to do anything. Like after a week of being very productive, this wave of laziness just hit me out of nowhere. And I found myself getting out of that earlier today. Um, and I wrote down to myself that you were a victim, but you do not have to stay a victim. Your story is not to stay a victim. And what my therapist taught me is that there's a triangle. On the top is your thoughts, on the side is your feelings, and on the other side is behavior. TFB. That thought, all you need is that thought. And those continuous positive thoughts to help you get through a rough patch. Um, and honestly, me telling myself that spoke so much life to me. And as I thought that I did not have to remain a victim, I began to feel that I did not need to remain a victim. And my behavior was that I got the hell up and I started doing things for myself that was going to make me feel good. I stretched. I did I did my push-ups, little things. I'm not saying I ran a marathon and I cooked for the city. No. I did little things that for sure ski helped me get out of my funk. Um Back to the topic of finding yourself or building yourself. Um Another thing surrounding this that I will say helped me in my addictions is don't try to don't try to stop doing something. Don't get mad at yourself because you can't stop doing something. You know, I feel like focusing that energy of I just can't stop doing this. I want to stop doing this. Um it does you so much of a disservice. It does us so much of a disservice because two things can exist at the same time. And just because you are not doing as well in one aspect of your life, that does not mean that every aspect of your life needs to be a shit show or needs to be low vibrational. Um, yeah, you do not have to focus that energy on stopping to do something. For example, you have a weed addiction and you can't seem to stop smoking weed. Um, do not focus on stopping the weed. Smoke your weed because in the moment right now, I can't tell you to stop doing that. You can't tell yourself to stop doing that because there's a deeper meaning as to why you are addicted to that. Um, but what you can do is focus on the positive and focus on doing things that add positivity to your life and that take your focus off of where you lack. Lack should not be the focus. Um, that actually, does more damage than progress because you're sitting there feeling guilty every time. No, you are just as worthy of a human in your shit than out of it. And that's I'm gonna clock it right there. I'm gonna do my little finger right there because that's something I also needed to hear. You are just as worthy in your shit than out of it. Whether you choose to stop smoking or stop that habit, you should still love yourself and be content with yourself the same way. Yes, it does not align with the person that you deeply inside of you know that you want to be, but we're not going to shame ourselves. Like we are learning, we are all in this process. Um we don't have a blueprint. We don't have a direct manual. So please y'all, let's show ourselves some grace. Um show yourself some grace. And I'm not saying that as an excuse to stay down because I am telling you to elevate in other ways that you know that it may be a little bit easier for you to elevate in, or it won't be as tough as trying to get over an addiction. Focus on those things. Um, and focusing on the things that I could do actually helped me lessen my addiction, you know? Um, I just feel like taking a deep breath um, because that really did speak to me. We should all take a deep breath. I think I'm going to end the podcast here. And I'm going to end it here for y'all. Thank you guys for listening. Thank y'all for coming to my TED Talk. And I'll call y'all next Thursday. Peace.